Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. Thursday night is a huge night for the NBA playoffs with 3 elimination game 6s on tap, and one of the bigger ones is the 2 vs 7 matchup in the Western Conference between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Oklahoma City Thunder, where the Grizzlies have a 3-2 series lead and they come in as a home underdog of 3 points in this game, total of 185 points. Now, with Memphis on the verge of a huge upset, you have to think they're going to come to play huge with crowd in Memphis. The FedEx Forum is going to just be rocking, and I really think Memphis has a lot of value on the spread. However, I think it's probably a pretty volatile wager because you have to think that Kevin Durant's greatness is going to show up at least some in this series, and it could be in a Game 6 performance, which he has had many of those so far in these playoffs. Now, Memphis is 3-1-1 against the spread here, but I think a bet on the total at 185 points is really tempting here because it's the lowest total of this series, and we correctly pegged the over in the last game 5, likely because of the overtime. However, 185 points is still pretty low, comparable to the mismatches on offense that both of these teams enjoy here so far throughout this series. Zach Randolph has been amazing, Marc Gasol, both those guys in the post are extreme mismatches for the thin front line of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Their front court has really been what has derailed them for pretty much all 3 of their playoff runs, and it's really gotten to them, and teams have been able to exploit it, especially like Memphis, who's a very good defensive team and a very good offensive team in the post. And along with Mike Conley just absolutely playing pretty solid basketball, not really shooting the ball, but every other facet of his game, really defending Russell Westbrook well as well. I think the Grizzlies here have a pretty good ability to score points here, but 185 points is very, very low. All they would have to do is get around 94 to 95 points and assume the Thunder are above 90 points as well. That would cash the over rather easily at 185 points. So I do think that the books have just a little bit overreacted here and pegged this one lower than what it could be, despite this being an elimination game, despite the fact that defenses will be out. I think Durant is finally going to show up here and put his mark on this series, demand the ball more from Russell Westbrook, who shot the ball 31 times in Game 5, scored 30 points. However, I think it could be a little bit more of an offensive game than what the books are projecting here. So I'm going with over 185 points between the Thunder and the Grizzlies in Game 6. Best of luck to you on this one. Make sure you check out a couple of my other plays here on the other Game 6s going around here on Thursday night. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of The Sharp Pick.